Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. As you can see, I am back. So let me quickly update the stream title. That break is where I'm gonna cut the video in half. But from here on out for the stream, so from here on out for the rest of the scene, we are doing this as our main objective. That's right, something I put off for 2 whole expansions. Wait, I accidentally switched to the end screen. Oh well. We are not ending, we are doing Shadowbringer's Melee DPS Role Quest. We are starting the Role Quest series, now that we've done all available content for stories. Oh, hi, Raelius! So, to start this, we need to head... Well, we first need to switch to the role quest. The role for the quest. For this, we are going to be playing Dragoon. Because I'm trying to level Dragoon. No, it was Monk. Yeah, I'm trying to level Monk. So, what we are going to be playing for this is Monk. Norvrant. The Crystarium. We haven't been back here in a while. But yeah, that break is where I'm going to cut the video in half. I hope you are ready for some feels. So, where will we pick this up? Because the only role quest we have done for any of the expansions is the Magic DPS role quest for, Shadowbringers. I think that's the only one we could. Let me check something. I don't think I did the melee DPS one. Oh, so it was the physical DPS role quest we did. So it looks like we can't do that one. So, we'll do the magic DPS. As none other than Summoner. Slight change of plans, but oh well. Let's see. Turig is our quest giver. And I also need to change the title again. Hold on, take. Can I do this as a bard? No. Oh, so physical was wrapped into melee, so that means that, yeah, magic DPS is next. Okay. Oh well, we do Summoner. Let's talk to Charig. Hollow Pursuits. Charig is eyeing you inquisitively. Let me guess, you're standing in front of Charig, bounty hunter non-parallel, because you have a mind to aid me in felling the dreaded Pharaohnesis. Let me look up how that is said. Google, don't fail me now. There's the name. I had to look up. I didn't want to type it. So let me look up how to say this. Phronesis. Okay. So let me read this again. Let me guess, you're standing in front of Charig, bounty hunter non-parallel, because you have a mind to aid me in felling the dreaded Phronesis. Do I have the right of it? Or do I have it right? The right of it. You have the right of it. Willing to throw caution to the wind and strike off to do battle with nigh indomitable foe? Why have I got the feeling the two of us will get along just fine? Allow me to elaborate. Phronesis isn't just your run-of-the-mill stray synod eater. He's one of the nastiest the realm has seen, formed from the remains of one of those god-stamped warriors of light. Therefore, there are 4 of them, all told. Carl crawled up from the bowels of the deepest hell after being buried for nigh on a century. If the tales are true, people have come to call them cardinal virtues. Before he was transformed into a Sin Eater, have to look up that. Ffxiv was none other than Archmage Nilebert, whose baleful magics were feared over the realm over. Though it's only been a few short years since he first showed up in Amarang, he's already preyed on far too many innocents with his foul sorcery. Not keen on seeing their trade routes disrupted, the local merchants have placed a healthy bounty on his head. Of course, I'd like nothing more than to fell the fiend single-handed and claim the entire bounty for myself. Unfortunately, circumstances have dictated that I recruit a companion. That's where you come in. Provided that you can prove to me that you possess the rather specialized set of skills that I required, I promise I'll make it worth your while. Not a bad offer, wouldn't you see? If you fancy yourself up to the task, come and find me in Amarang. I mean to set off for there shortly. Yeah, this has been a long time coming. I promised I would do these all the way back when I first did Shadowbringers, but never found the time to do them. So, we're doing them now. Same goes for the Shadowbringers and Dawn Trail role quests. Just doing something really quick. Okay, now off we go. So you came. It's good to see someone who isn't all talk. As fortune would have it, another Sin Eater, a far less imposing specimen than Ffxiv, of course, has been sighted just to the west of here. Prove to me you have the skill to back up your words, and we'll talk further. Let's talk to him first. The incinerator isn't far from here. I can feel it. Track it down and let's see what you're capable of. I am capable of summoning a fucking dragon. How's that for you? Good show, friend. I wasn't sure what to expect from you, but seeing you in battle has left me with little doubt. Seems I found myself a formidable ally. And so I'll extend the offer in earnest. Help me hunt down Phronesis, and we'll split the bounty down the middle. We'll say, what do you say? That's the spirit. Now, there's more you should know before we proceed. Come with me to Mordsuk, my base of operation. I'll fill you in on the details. Welcome to Mordsuk, friend. As you can see, it's a bustling trade post frequented by merchants from across the realm. At least it was before Phronesis showed up and started preying on unwitting travelers. Hence the bounty, you see. The lucrative roar has attracted the attention of one capable bounty hunter after the next. Yet the fiend still roams free. You can probably imagine why. Those few who have seen Phronesis and returned to tell the tale speak of the great horrors they witnessed. Carnivorous black holes materializing out of thin air, swallowing everything around them into the abyss. People have taken to calling them the Hollows. Rumor has it that one barely has time to lay eyes on Phronesis before he summons forth the Hollows, which proceed to consume everything in sight. And I do mean everything. Just the other day, an entire caravan was devoured by the Hollows, leaving only nothingness behind. Mages have postulated that these holes are literally tears in the fabric of our reality, gateways to another world, to put it another way. At any rate, suffice it to say that the next man to come from the void will be the first. And yet there's something odd about it all. Witnesses say that Phronesis doesn't seem to go out of his way to prey on people or settlements. He simply shambles across the waste, summoning hollows one after the next, and the destruction follows as a matter of course. Needless to say, drawing too near to the fiend is tantamount to suicide. Even attacks from afar have been all but futile, and Phronesis simply summons the hollows to consume every incoming arrow. With every conceivable means of attack foiled, even the most savvy bounty hunters have all but thrown up their hands, even though the bounty now stands at some 9 or 10-fold the original amount. I am of a different mind, however. The way I see it, if only there was a way to neutralize the hollows, we'd more than stand a chance against Phronesis himself. This is why I required your services. Your easy triumph over the Sinner Eater spoke clear. You're a mage of no common skill. If anyone has the arcane knowledge and aptitude to help me figure out a way to defend against the hollows, it's you. Don't worry, I fully intend to shoulder my share of the burden, and so I plan to gather all the information we need before asking you to put yourself in harm's way. And with that, I'd best get to work. Once I've formulated a proper plan of attack, we'll talk again. Until then, I suggest you continue to hone your casting skills. The battle that awaits us will not be an easy one. A voice from the void. Charik has made a breakthrough of sorts. Ah, there you are, and your timing couldn't be better. As luck would have it, a little bird told me that Phronesis was sighted in the vicinity not long ago. Don't you worry, I have no intention of rushing in like a fool. My plan is to shadow the Sin Eater from afar, that we might observe the hollows with our own eyes and formulate a suitable plan of attack. To that end, I procured this mannequin here from a merchant acquaintance of mine at the Crystarium. By setting it in Phronesis' trail, I mean to gauge just how wide of a berth we must keep from the field so as not to be sucked up into the void. Shed no tears for the little fellow friend. His sacrifice will be the key to our success. And yet, as you can see, he's not quite in the best state of repair. Pray lend me a hand in procuring what we need to get him back on his feet. Your lifesaver, friend. I just spotted a nasty-looking sandkin Sibili lurking about to the east of here, and I do believe one of their talents should serve well to put some spring back in the little fellow's step. Snag one for me, and I'll see it repaired. And look, finding the talon, that talon. For my part, I've acquired something that should serve as a makeshift gear. Cost me an arm and a leg, but hey, if it helps us claim that bounty in the end, it'll be more than worth it. Perfect. Yes, I reckon this is durable and elastic enough to replace the mannequin's snapped drive belt. I'll fetch my toolbox and get started straight away. In the meantime, why don't you scout us out a suitable lookout point? Phronesis was last sighted just southeast of town. Try to find us a spot on higher ground, out of sight from the main thoroughfare. Hello there, friend. As you can see, our clockwork friend is back in tip-top shape, and since it appears you've found us a perfect lookout spot, why don't we get done to work? I'll kindle us a fire. We might be here a while. Well, I'll be. There's the bastard. Look closely now. Hold your gaze. You must witness the sheer horror with your own eyes. No, we must now. No, we mustn't send out the mannequin too soon. If Phronesis sees it, he may very well blast it to bits before it has a chance to investigate the hollow. Oh, someone's at my door. Sorry about that, I had to go take meds. And there he goes. I'll send the mannequin into the trail. Let me sit back. Let's sit back and enjoy the show. Just as I expected. Gone without a trace. Shed no tears for our little friend. Through his sacrifice, we know just how much distance we must keep from the hollows to avoid being sucked into the void. Now it's our turn. Let's edge a bit closer and see what we can observe. Mind you, take care not to wander too close, lest you fancy a vacation to the dark, shadowy abyss. It's as if a shadowy whirlwind rages inside, ready to suck anything and everything into the void. I've seen many a horrific sight in my day, but this sends a shiver up my spine. Let me out. It's so dark in here. Why the pale voice, friend? You look as if you've seen a ghost. A voice, you say? From inside the hollow? But that's impossible. Is anyone out there? Please help me. Help me get out of here. Over here. Was that a voice? Is someone out there? If you can hear me, please, you must help me. I can't see anything. No roads, no trees, not even an ether current to follow. Which way do I go? How do I get out of this place? This voice, what in the God's name is it saying? The voice of a boy, you say, claims he's lost inside, with no ether current to follow? Sounds like he's adrift in the flow, not unlike what would happen if an aetheryte to which one was teleporting was destroyed in mid-journey. Wait a minute. What if there were some way you could channel ether into the void? Might that not allow your etheric form to serve as a beacon of sorts to guide the child back to us? Of course, not that I know how we'd go about that. You reckon you could do just that? I wouldn't think of asking how, but do your damnedest. Wicked White, I knew you were no ordinary sinner, but even still you find ways to surprise me. Where am I? Well, I'll be damned. There was a child inside. Our little expedition has left us with more questions than answers, eh? But for now, this boy needs our care. Let us carry him back to Mordsuk and find him a warm bed and some nourishment. The boy is resting now. He is weak, but not wounded, at least as far as I can tell. Needless to say, his presence raises questions. Are there others trapped on the other side of the hollows? If so, might they also be returned to our world alive? There's much we must ask him when he wakes. On another subject, this might be an odd question, but have you ever looked after a child before? What do you think? Heh, that makes two of us. Bounty hunters like me don't get much opportunity for babysitting. Still, until we can track down the boy's parents, I suppose I have little choice but to look after him myself. I suppose the first order of the day should be to get some food in his belly. He does look terribly pale, after all. Methinks I'll go hunting for some meat. No, perhaps I should take him to a physician first. After all, he may be suffering from ailments incurable to the eye. Inscrutable to the eye. Or maybe I should. Damn it all. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Okay, that's the level 72 quest. Echoes of the past. Chard wears a frustrated expression on his face. Ah, there you are. You'll be happy to know that the boy is awake and seems to be no worse for wear, physically speaking at least. There's just a rub. There's just one rub, you see. He has no recollection of where he came from, and just how he managed to get swallowed up into the void. In fact, other than his name, Tanner, he can't remember much of anything at all. He seems a good lad, mind you. Eats my half-hour's cooking with a smile and nary a word of complaint. Yet I reckon he's hurting inside, and badly. We must reunite him with his parents with all due speed. I suggested that he go for a stroll around Mordsuk, in the hopes that the sights might help jog his memories. He can't have wandered far. Why don't you check up on him? And he is this way. I realize this is something of a detour, but we simply can't leave a poor amnesiac orphan to fend for himself, now can we? Let's find the boy a safe home as soon as we can. Do not tell me. You are the one who rescued me from the flow, yes? I feel from you the same warmth that reached out to me when I was adrift in the aether. I'll be damned. The boy's a sharp one. And that's not the least of it. The carer who examined him said they could feel great power welling up from within him. Despite his age, Tanner here seemed to possess a remarkable command of the magical arts. Perhaps I do, and yet I cannot say. I try as I might, I can recall nothing of who I am or where I came from. It's only the darkness. No need for apologies, boy. You did well just to make it back to us. Speaking of which, can you remember anything at all of what you felt when you were adrift in the void? That I remember, or at least I think I do. If I recall a vague sensation of someone passing alongside me. Indeed, I believe this was what roused me from my slumber. And if the hollows truly are gates between worlds, that would mean that someone recently traversed from our world to another, or from another to ours. But that's not possible, or is it? You'd be surprised. You know something I don't, friend. Worry not. I won't pry for details. Well, no sense racking our brains over matters beyond our comprehension. Let's concentrate on what we can do, namely, finding the boy here a home. No doubt his memories will come back to him in due time. You truly do that? For me? But the two of you have already saved my life. I can't possibly burden you any further. It's no burden at all. Besides, we can figure out just who you are and where you came from. It just might lead us to the answers we seek. Now, let's consider the options. One possibility is that you're an orphan, all alone in the world, with not a soul to care for you or look after you. And yet, this seems unlikely. Yes, the magical powers you possess say otherwise. If you are truly as skilled in magic as they say, then it stands to reason that someone trained you in the arts. Who this master of yours is, and whether you are of their blood, or simply received their tutelage, this I cannot say. But either way, I'm certain they're worried sick about you. If that truly is so, I would very much like to meet this person, too. That's settled, is it, then? Let's get down to business. I took the liberty of inquiring around Mordzook and the Crystarium. Unfortunately, there have been no reports of missing persons matching Tanner's description, which means that we have no choice but to take our search elsewhere. I know of a merchant in town whose travels often take him far afield. Let us have a talk with him and see if he has heard any helpful rumors. The two of you are far too kind. I can't thank you enough. It's impressive how Tanner's managed to keep himself together. The boy's mature beyond his years, no doubt. Rumors are of a missing boy, you say. Funny that you ask. It's a long shot, I reckon, but I overheard something the other day that might be obvious. On my way to Mordsuk, I stopped over at the inn at Journey's Head. There I met an laying mage, as the carer told it. There I met an ailing mage. As the carer told it, he'd been ambushed by a Sin-Eater and was separated from his child in battle. Wait, could it be? If the Sin-Eater that attacked the poor man was Veronius, that would explain everything. This man you speak of, could he be my father? We must go see him at once. Great, I hope that the man is. No, there is no point in presuming the worst. Let's make for the end and see what the carers there can tell us. So that's all the way over there. Did not mean to summon Floofy Plume, but oh well. Concerned carer. Hello there, I hear there is a mage in your care who's lost his boy. I do believe we found him right here. I fear there must be a mistake. The boy in question has already been found. This is him right here. What? So it wasn't my father after all. This boy with you, he too has been separated from his family? Just so, we heard that a man here was looking for his son, and we just haven't hoped. Alas, it seems it wasn't meant to be. But there are many people here, yes? Might I ask around, see if the others are my family? But of course, yet many people here are quite ill, and in many cases in considerable pain. It is not a place for young children to walk around unattended. Indeed, it's not. Guess that means either myself or Wolf Mage here should accompany him. I'll go with him. The walk might help me or take my mind off of things. Not a bad idea. If the lad doesn't mind, I reckon Tanner would rather be with someone his own age. Take his mind off things. Speaking of take his mind off things. Speaking of which, how is the boy's father holding up? I fear the poor man has already departed on his journey. He is a man no longer. The child insisted upon staying by his father's side until the last. I permitted this out of respect for him, though part of me regrets the choice. None so young should suffer such horrors. It was a small solace to learn that he has living relatives who reside at the Crystarium. In fact, I was just making preparations to escort him there myself. I see. Reckon we should also find someone to look after Tanner as well. Don't get me wrong, friend. I won't give up. I haven't given up on the prospect of finding the boy's family, but we have no other leads, and a deadly sin eater still on the loose. If the lad tags along with us every step of the way, he's far more likely to end up dead or worse than to ever reunite with his family. Here's what I propose. We find someone to watch over Tanner for the time being. Get back on the hunt, and gather whatever clues we can about his origins along the way. Very well, but we must see that he's safe. Aye, that goes without saying. Let us have a talk with the proprietor of the Wandering Stairs. He's a kindly enough chap, and knows damn near everyone in these parts. With any luck, he'll be able to direct us to a willing and able guardian. Look, I don't like this any more than you do, but it's the best we can do for the boy given our circumstances. At any rate, let's find him and share the news. Don't worry, it's my decision and I intend to take responsibility for it. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. Bad news, friend. It seems the two young ones got into a quarrel of sorts, and Tanner's up and ran away. Seems the lad mentioned how he'd come out of one of the hollows. The other boy put two and two together and figured he'd been attacked by a sin eater. Then I said my dad was attacked by a sin eater, and then he turned into one himself. So I asked, what if you turn into a sin eater too? Dad's face turned white. He kept saying, I did. What do you mean? What do you mean? Over and over and over again. I couldn't take it anymore. Before I knew it, I was shouting at him. Shut up. Just shut up. I mean, you're turning into a sin eater already. Why did I say such mean things such mean and nasty things? Don't be so hard on yourself, lad. Both of you had a rough go of it these past few days. Nobody could blame either of you for feeling a bit on edge. but we must hurry and find Tanner before he comes to harm. Let's split up. I'll search the west, you take the east, and be careful out there. And we have an ad bot. Yeah, but I'm gonna report them. Okay. It's just still visible for me. Okay, that's fine. Thanks, Raelius. When I heard the clamor of battle, I feared the worst, but I see that you have everything under control. Are you okay, lad? Forgive me. I didn't deserve this kindness. I was just so scared. I was worried about what would become of me if I never recovered my memories. And then I started thinking, what if I end up like that boy's father? What if it's already happening to me? That's one matter you need to worry yourself with. The carer who examined you told me as much. You suffered no direct wounds. You're in no more danger of turning into a Zen Eater than Wolfmage or me. Is that so? That's good to hear, but I must apologize to that boy. I should have known better than to badger him about such things, especially after what happened to his father. Funny thing that he was saying the same thing about you. You both have good hearts, lad, and you've been through more than any man should. There's no need to be ashamed of your feelings. There is still so much I don't understand about this world. Why does no one here know me? Am I doomed to be alone for the rest of my days? Why must it be this way? If only I could remember anything. I'm sick of not knowing who I am. I'm sick of being alone. Now it's your turn, Tanner. And do not be disheartened by your last attempt. Even the greatest of mages have known failure. Your command of magic is the equal of my own. If I can succeed, there is no reason why you cannot. Free your mind of worry and focus. Thank you, Nilebert. I shall try my best. Wicked White. Are you alright, Wolf Mage? I remember now. I was standing here with those bright bright planes, bright planes. My hand hung low in shame. Then Nilebert turned to me with a smile and heartening words. Nilebert, why does that name sound familiar? I reckon we've much to discuss, but not in this godforsaken place. Let's head back to the inn and see if we can get to the bottom of this. I do hope you'll forgive me. We have much to discuss, but first we should let the two boys make their peace. Tanner, are you alright? I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said those nasty things. Forgive me for reacting as I did. I'm fine. I'm fine. In fact, I seem to have recovered some of my memories. Really? That's wonderful. Maybe you won't feel as so scared and alone anymore. I'm leaving to go live in the Crystarium with my relatives. Promise me you'll come and visit. I mean, after you get your memories back and all, of course. It's a promise. Until next time, my friend. I knew that you two would work things out. Now let's return to Mordsuk. We have more than our share of questions that need answering. I can't help but feel I also made a promise to that boy in my memories. Albert, was it? As I saw it, first you fainted all of a sudden, then you come to and portions of Tanner's memories had returned. What in the world is happening? World happened out there? The power to look into the past. And you're certain that what Wolfmage described matches up with your recollection of the past? I don't know how to break this to you, but your friend Albert, that was with you that day, he's no He's no ordinary boy. He's none other than the very man who became Fronius, one of those goddamn warriors of light. If he was just a young child in your memories, that means that what you saw took place over 100 years ago. What would that it were just a coincidence, another boy with the same name. But no, judging from the formidable command of magic, we can only assume it was him. On the way back, I managed to recall some more about Nilebird and myself. We were taken in by a group of mages, a consortium of sorts. They were searching for a means to open a hole to another world, and were recruiting young children with high magical aptitude for the task. Nilebird and myself were the two they chose. You can't be serious, and yet that would explain the Sin Eater's ability to summon those damned hollows. And if you were possessed of the same knowledge, and trained as Nilebird did, it could also explain why you were able to survive in there all this time. But what I don't understand why haven't you aged at all? I can't say for sure. And yet my memories? They are slowly coming back to me. In time, I may be able to help you find a way to close the hollows. You'll be a lifesaver if you could, but don't overburden yourself. You're still recovering, after all. In the meantime, don't worry. Wolfmage and I will see that you're safe. I thought Tanner was just a victim of the Sin Eaters. To think that he was actually friends with the man himself, or back when he was still a man. This can't be a simple coincidence. Yes, I'm convinced of it now. The child holds the key to defeating Fronius. We must keep him safe, and not let him out of our sight. Besides, look at how hard he's trying to recover his memories. I'm not so heartless as to kick the poor lad aside before he figure matters out. But we can't very well rush things. You and I should continue to prepare for the battle ahead. While waiting for the rest of Tanner's memories to come back to him. And this is to say, if it's all right with you, lad. I'm sorry, I can't possibly burden you any further. Look, lad, I've only known you a short while, but I can tell you've got a good heart, and a good head on your shoulders. I can only begin to imagine the horrors you've been through, not to mention the fears and uncertainty you face even now. But I want to promise you this. I want you to promise me this. No more apologies. You're no burden to us. Not in the least. You're a valuable member of our band, and as long as you're willing, I want you with us. Isn't that right, Wolf Mage? I see. Thank you, Tureg. Thank you, Wolf Mage. I will aid your quest in whatever way I can. Now that's more like it. We're counting on you, lad. And with that, I think we've done enough of streaming for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my stream. I hope you guys stop by again. Until next time, I've been Mage 1011, and I'll see you guys then. Bye!